like it's all good. Cool, we're just waiting a couple of more minutes for everyone to join. Cool, yeah, thanks everyone for joining today. Oh, there's Tom. All right, let's get things started. Tom?
All right, good time to get into things. Zin, you sound okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I've just checked.
Yep.
Looks like the stream's working well this time.
Okay, fantastic. That's really, really good. Okay, welcome everyone. I hope everyone's been having a really good weekend. We're going to do our best to answer as many questions. I just want to thank everyone for taking the time for posting their questions ahead of time in the thread. That's really helpful because it lets us gather any extra details or get any extra information or even check with the rest of the team to see if we can tease a few things. So it's always better to get your questions in, so we appreciate that. Apart from that, guys, there's not too much else we need to go into. The team's been extremely busy working on a few secrets for the upcoming big major update. I think we'll be able to detail a couple of things there. There's been some great questions about the upcoming content. Other than that, let's get started with the questions.
All right.
All right, going over to our first question. It's from Anna Gannon. This is tournament related, it seems. I might let Zin respond to this one then. The current tournament can be seen as a slog. The keep looking system takes something that's really exciting and turns it into a slow, drawn out process. Are there any changes Savvy is open to regarding the tournament structure?
Yeah, I'll take this one, as you said. The tournament, we've been thinking about changes for a good 2-3 years now. And I think in that time, we've put 2 major changes out, and it's probably had some improvements, and but still hasn't been exactly what people were expecting. I think in the last week or 2 weeks, we've bounced off a couple of new ideas, and without going into too much detail, they revolve around increasing the amount of features in the galaxy, and tying some of the galaxy into the tournament and to fleets. So I think it's early days on the design of the new tournament system, but we've got some pretty promising ideas we want to explore. So I think, yeah, we'll leave it at that, but definitely something is in the horizon. Yeah. Anything you want to add to that, Tom or Kildare?
No, I think that was perfectly put. What about you, Kildare?
No.
Yeah, I do want to mention...
We are looking at a couple...
Yeah.
Go on.
We are currently in the level 13 feature crunch, I guess. So anything tournament related will be after level 13. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll also be looking into a couple of UI improvements just to make the process of searching for tournament battles a little less painful, but that of course relies on some of the other changes that we're looking at as well. So can't say too much, but it's definitely on the table.
Awesome.
Thank you for that question, Anna. Our next question is from Legit Mate. Love that name. Is there future plans for the engine room? Because currently engine rooms are a bit dull. I think Kildare, would you be able to respond to that one, please?
Yeah, so there's currently some there's some changes is being trialed in our test channels at the moment. So unfortunately, because I shouldn't give out any information yet, because they're not finalized or anything. But there's definitely some changes in the horizon to make things more interesting. Because it's not yet fully confirmed as to whether that's the direction we want to head to. So but that's definitely changes. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Do you have a rough estimate of when we'd be seeing those changes, or is it too early to say?
I mean, the current schedule, I think we're trying to include it for the level 13 update. Hopefully we'll finalize it in the coming weeks. But yes, it's definitely should be coming with the level 13 update.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. I know you've been pulling your hair out a bit and going over everything there, so I'm quite excited about that one. Thank you, Vin. Just going over to the next question from Thuni Mike Ka. I apologize if I butchered that. A recent post shows the idea with the T13 ship hull. Are there any new rooms or features, especially the room level cap of already existing rooms, that would accompany the level 13 upgrade? Probably another one great for Vincent. He's kind of a lord in charge of rooms. Sorry, Kildare.
So yes, with every level upgrade, there's always I think Zin mentioned this in the last Q&A that we will always accompany it with new rooms with new mechanics and stuff like that. Like one of them is the I call it the auxiliary room, which is basically it boosts the adjacent rooms next to it. So that one's definitely coming in. There's also a couple of new rooms that we are toying with in the test channels. As in trialing. So yeah, there should be also a number of level upgrades for most existing rooms. We are also trying to limit the amount of power upgrades, as in like the power increase in ship power, because the whole idea is to make players choose as in to be more wise with their power management. So we don't want to like the players to be able to put in every strong room, like high powered room in on the ship that easily. So it's more of a strategic tactical decision kind of thing. So yeah, that's that. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I think that'll be really interesting just to see how players manage their power, especially when it's not coming out of their ears like it kind of is at the moment, which will be really interesting to see how players juggle that and deal with it. Thank you, Kildare. Just going on to the next question is from Orion HDs. Will there be any way to get BP items aside from the old battle season from the store? I can probably answer this one. So getting the items themselves will probably never be possible outside of the battle seasons. We want to keep them exclusive and definitely keep the rewards for a limited time, especially to reflect people's efforts during the battle season. We may be looking at a method to skin the items. So once you do have them, you can certainly look at using them in different areas. One point of feedback that we've seen that we agree with is if you get a poor roll on some of these items, it can feel like you'll never get to use them, even though you may like the art or the animations. So that is something that we are looking into at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't have a schedule for when we'll see that, but it's definitely in the works. So yeah, that's actually a great question. Thank you, Orion. Just going over to our next question from Spark. He's a regular. Good to see you, Spark. I hope you're doing well. Could we get an in-game pin for having UGC content added? Well, this is a good idea. Currently, the Discord has a nice one. Now, the Discord's always got something great. The mod team on Discord is truly amazing, and we're lucky to have them. Zin, what do you think? Do you think we could get that in the game?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's add that in. We'll pin that down. There's a really big UGC patch update coming soon as well, just to make the discoverability of skins much easier in the game. And we want to start pushing more of the UGC submissions into the game. So this will fit really well with that.
Oh, fantastic. And if you haven't seen, guys, some of the UGC submissions are really amazing. There's some great artists out there in the community that are players. I should also pass on, a lot of these players are really happy with the Starbucks that they make for the sales of these skins. So if you do want to submit a skin, just head over to the pixelstarships.com website and just navigate to the UGC page. You can vote on skins, have a look at them, and submit your own. We will continue to expand this in the future. We're looking into ways of adding skins for perhaps even stickers and ship holes, all sorts of stuff. So it will continue to expand, but definitely have a look if you haven't yet. Thanks, Zen. Thank you, Spark, for that question. The next question is from Alpha R1. Why is a toxic atmosphere encouraged in the PSS chat? There are no bans or punishments for insulting other players. I'll jump in on this one if I can. So a toxic atmosphere is definitely not encouraged. I'd strongly recommend using the chat filter and the in-game reporting tool. We action the in-game reports quickly and we take each report very seriously. Unfortunately, there will always be bad actors, right? In some cases, we can't block a user just for being rude or for being a horrible person. Here, I'd recommend using the blocking tool. That's definitely something that you can get them out of your way for. but to also report them to us directly. Now you can do that via email at mail@savvysoda.com, or just reach out to me on Discord. We then tend to take these reports and go through each one. We review their their chat history, their actions in game, and then we will take action if it's possible, but only if they've broken any rules. So again, it's a sad thing to say, there will always be bad actors. To save yourself, I would say it's better to block them and just let us know. Anything that's breaching the rules or against the spirit of the game, we will of course act on. It's just if they are kind of tiptoeing around the rules and just generally being a bit of a bad actor, I'll say, there's not too much that we can really do. So please reach out to me if you do have any problems there, Alpha. I know you already have in the past, and we'll continue to action those. Thanks for that, Alpha. Just going to our next question from Cassiopeia343. Is there a more concrete timeline for the whole 13 release? And additionally, can we have advanced announcements for updates so that they don't take us by surprise? Zin, do you feel that we can give a more concrete timeline for the whole 13 release?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. It does highlight, we've got an internal timeline. It's, I think, 10th of September is our target go live date. So if all goes well, 10th of September. But that's a good point with the roadmap. Maybe we can start posting roadmap schedules in our mail out or maybe somewhere on the website. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, let's definitely talk about that. When it comes to the announcements, yes, we can start doing those 24 hours early. I think that's well within our means. I'll try to get those out on probably just Discord, possibly Reddit. It would be a bit spammy if we did it on our social media and stuff, but we'll be looking into making announcements about updates as early as possible.
I mean, internally, we've got a roadmap a couple of months ahead of schedule. If people want to see this made more public, I think we can have a discussion of how to do that, because things do get moved around, and we
yeah, that's a good point. Actually, this really fits in well with the next question, if I can just interject. The next question's from Deloise. It says, can we get a roadmap? Wow, okay, a bit of a mind reader there of what you hope to achieve in the next few months. As an ongoing thing, this game requires long-term planning, and a window into the future would be helpful. As Zin noted, we can definitely look into that. Just to add, I've noted that roadmaps may lead to frustration and disappointment, especially if we pivot our plans when we believe things need a little bit more time to meet our standards. While we look into this, I would like to recommend being a tester is a great way to get the early scoop on upcoming changes and what you can prepare for. If you would like to become a tester, please just look into the Discord testing section or send Kildare a message. He handles our testers and is happy to help there as well. Additionally, just reach out to me if you like, and I can get into contact and we'll get you an application in to become a tester.
Yeah, I just like to add to that is that just to keep in mind that the changes in the test builds are not final. So because we had issues in the past where some players took like changes in there too seriously and were made changes in the live environment, like to account for that, and it didn't happen, so they got disappointed. Just make sure that you don't do that if you ever try to become a tester. So just keep that in mind. Yeah.
No, that's well said. Can I ask, Kildare, are there rewards for testers as well?
Yeah. We reward. I try to do it like every few months. Like we basically have like a test report channel that players, if they want to get rewarded, they basically post in their test reports there, and every cycle, which is probably a few months, given like how busy we are, we would reward based on those reports.
So that's really cool. Awesome. Thank you for noting that. I would like to just interrupt really quickly, guys, and say if you do have any questions that you weren't able to get in on the feedback thread, please feel free to post them in the chat, and we'll see if we can respond to as many as possible at the end of the AMA prepared questions. Okay, next question is from Death Defying. Great name. Can we have a galaxy map rework? We need a collect all or redeploy drone button for mining. Every single click is unnecessary dialogue and loading time. Kildare, what do you think about this one?
So, we don't have anything concrete yet, but we do have thought about this, like because originally we planned to have like a proper travel system and everything, but part of that got scrapped towards the end. So I think heading towards 1.0 or maybe after that, depending on how things go, we may consider an overhaul of the system. Yeah, but it's difficult to say at this time because we don't want to introduce like a bad system that just inconveniences everyone more instead of being a fun
I think
interactive
the
system.
collect all is a
Yeah.
great idea though. I think.
Oh, yeah, here I was referring more to the Galaxy map travel
yeah.
time. With collect all, that's definitely something we could support. Yes, as a UI, quality of life change.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. There's actually a huge list of quality of life and UI updates we're going to be doing for 1.0, so I think we can fit that in for sure. Great answer, Kildare. Just going over to the next question from The Basics Melon, another great name. Any plans on buffing or reworking the big flying bombshell? I believe many people will agree it's the weakest of the three super weapons. Ooh, depends on your strategy. Again, I'll probably pass this one to Kildare. Kildare, what do you think?
So, yeah, as you pointed out earlier, there's a bit of controversy here. So, like, everyone has their own opinion as to what the strongest or weakest super weapon is. But there is something that I've been considering, and I've also been trialing on the test server, which is scaling damage based on the remaining HP on the super weapon, on the BFB. So that's something I'm considering as well. So but that depends on whether it's something that whether we approve as a team and whether players actually like this as a system. So hopefully that goes through. And that would actually help, because that does mean that because one of the problems with the BFB is that it's what we call it has a binary nature. So basically it's either hit or miss. So when it hits, it deals all the damage, or if it misses, then it deals no damage. So the balancing there makes it difficult. So by doing this scaling damage based on the HP, that means what I can do is that I can actually increase the damage without worrying about it being too strong, because when players put in like when do damage to it, it basically reduces the damage it deals. So then it scales back down. If that makes sense. So
no, that's interesting. It sounds like it's on the radar already, and there's possible changes to come. So that's fantastic. Great answer, thank you, Kildare. Okay, just keeping things moving. Might have to shoot a couple of these very quickly, guys, so we can make them in time and still answer the live questions. Next question is from Cassiopeia343 again. Is it possible to improve the content of the Spice Trader ships, even just letting them select from all hero equipment? I'll try and keep this short, yes. And it is coming. We will be improving the number of items listed in Spice Trader ships. We need to keep the prices dynamic, so it can be a difficult system to monitor and something that we have to continually check in over time. If we were just to set standard prices, depending on if the market shifts, there can be a bit of an issue there. At the same time, we need to make sure limits are set so that if there is like the last 20 or 30 that were sold on the market saw a huge change, we don't immediately go down to the least common possibility so that it can be exploited by users as well. So that is something that we are looking into. It will be coming in the future. Unfortunately, I can't give a time just yet. Unfortunately, all hero equipment, definitely not, I'm afraid. There's certain ways to get certain equipment. It is more difficult, and that's done purposefully because of how strong the equipment is, and we feel that people's investment should reflect the time that they put into it overall, not just their basic Starbucks entry-level point. Thank you for that question, though, Cassiopeia. Next question is from Courtesy Flash. Love that. Will there be future collaborations with IP titles for events or characters? Ooh, Zen, I think this might be a good one for you.
Yeah, quick answer is yes. And I think we'll just leave it as the quick answer for now, in the interest of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting. Okay, cool. We'll see if we can sneak out a bit of information as we hear it then.
Maybe, yes. Yes is the answer. Let's go to the next question.
Okay, got you. Next question is from Captain Synthetic. Any plans to make the crew grind more fun and less of a horrible slog? Perhaps increasing gas PvP rewards or slashing the XP requirements and gas requirements? So the crew grind, this would be crew leveling. What are your thoughts there, Zen?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to make it a horrible slog of a grind. So that's good feedback. I think we need to have a meeting to discuss some ideas. Yeah, but well noted. If any feedback from you or Kyo there, please throw that in.
Yeah, definitely. We're spending a lot of time at the moment going over feedback posts too, guys. So if you've ever had something you'd like us to consider or any concerns, please make sure to make a post. Sometimes we can't always reply to every single post, but I can guarantee you that we've seen them, we've read them, and it's more than likely we've had a team discussion on them. So definitely make that post if you can. Thank you for that question, Captain. Next question from Spark. Can we make it so the Rainbow crew from last month can use its ordinary counterparts for CRISPR? That's a brilliant idea. Yeah, we'll look into that. That's a really good idea. I think they should be able to utilize the CRISPR system, and if they've got a base variant, then why not? They should be usable for the CRISPR system as well. So let me get back to you about that, Spark. I think that's a really good idea. Next question is from Kamga11. One of the most often requested features is removing the faction locks for captains and super weapons. Ooh, why not? Zim, would you like to add any info for this one?
Yeah, nope. Short question. Short answer is no. We do have this question come up a fair bit, but it's the design of the game to make each faction differentiated, and this is the feature that differentiates factions. So the short answer is
fair
no.
answer.
Yeah.
No, an honest answer is a good answer. Thank you for that, Zin. Next question is from Prime Minister. Oh, good to see you, Prime Minister. I'd love to see an increase in the storage capacity for crew and hopefully general storage as well. Again, Zin, if we can throw that to the lead,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts there?
Well, originally we limited some of this capacity for technical reasons. The crew capacity specifically was a technical limitation. We've since rectified some of those. So I think we can look at increasing the crew storage by, the suggestion was plus 100. I think that's quite possible. And
I mean, we've already
we'll
increased the the default already to 200. I think currently, if I remember correctly.
So
I'm just a bit worried. Yeah, performance on the lower end devices. That's all. But we probably could afford to have an increase, but we'll have to see on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can. So the technical reason was we couldn't render so many different crew on the screen, but we've since optimized it so they progressively load. I think we'll look into it. Yeah, that's a good idea. It wasn't by like a game design thing. It was just a technical limitation at the time. Yeah.
Oh, okay, excellent. Good explanation. Thank you for that. In addition, noting about item storage. For general storage, we do see improved crafting activity, market activity, and consumable stockpiles from players that use the warehouse room. So we definitely recommend using that if you're finding issues with your item storage. If you do have issues beyond that, though, while using your warehouse room, please reach out to us and feedback, and we'll definitely take that feedback on board. Next question from Cat Carrier. Good to see Cat Carrier's been very active in the bug reports thread. Thank you for all your time there. What's the current status of rolling over skins from the Battle Pass gear to regular? Just as mentioned before, it is coming. Unfortunately, I can't provide an estimate at the moment. Our biggest focus right now is making sure that level 13 isn't just an upgrade to the ship hulls, that there's new rooms, new missions, story arcs, enticing new events. So it is going to be a little bit longer until we can kind of expand our options on that. But it's definitely something I'd really like to get into the game, just to really preserve people's efforts and the time that they've spent getting those Battle Pass points and making sure their season progresses, especially for everyone that helps support development by purchasing the Battle Pass. It is a great deal for what you get, but it should be lasting, and it should always be a mark of pride on your ship. I think it's nice when we see people asking where a player that they fought got these items. We get a lot of crazy requests like, oh, this person's making their own items. I want that. It's cool. And it's always from a past battle season or a limited event item. So it's great to see that they are working and that it's something that really strikes up players' interest. So sorry about that, Cat Carrier. Can't give an exact progress update, but they will be coming up. Next question is from Death Defying, and then we'll be able to move over to a few live questions. Thank you for getting those in, guys. Why are galaxy map travel times so inconsistent? Every click there's a delay. To move between a far planet is a chore every day. Okay, so we do see a fair few people note that the lines on the galaxy map don't seem to make sense. Some are the same distance and take longer time. Some are shorter but take a longer time. So one thing to keep in note here, and it's a little bit of a geeky note, is a lot of these systems are actually physically further away, even though the galaxy map appears closer. Now, this relates to the size of the planets, but mostly it relates to the fact that the galaxy map is being represented on a 2D plane. So while it may look left to right that they are closer, we could be talking, another 14,000 light years in between, but they're further behind.
I could
Kildare?
also add. I could also add on to this. There's another reason. It's mainly that the original plan was that it was meant to be how to say, there's like some travel paths are more, how would I put it, busy, I guess. Like some are like you can think of it like a highway. Some are faster, some are slower. Some may have like hazards in between, so it takes longer to travel between. So the problem with this is that this is not easily shown in game, I guess, in like lore wise or anything. So but that was the original plan. So that's why you can see some inconsistencies there in terms of like the scaling of travel times. So I hope that actually explains
Tom's
things
gone
for
in
you.
and made them a little bit
Yeah.
more consistent with the display. That was about 6 months
Yeah.
ago, but we can also raise that again with Tom.
Yeah, if we can't represent those kind of things in game like we'd like to, let's take a review and see if we can make it a bit more straightforward. I think you
Yeah,
should
as mentioned,
definitely
like
take that on board.
like we mentioned earlier, we should probably like just consider an overhaul to the system anyway. Like ideally anyway, but we have to see how that goes. Yeah.
Still good feedback. All feedback is good feedback, guys. We appreciate it. Negative or positive, it's all really important for us. All right, we're just going to jump over to a few live questions with the time that we've got left. If you haven't been able to add one in, that's okay. Please know that we do these monthly, and we're always happy to accept any question ahead of time, and we'll do our best to get all the information on hand for you guys. So just before we get into these, I want to thank everyone for posting a question and for taking the time to listen in today. Let's see what questions we've got. So from Pigeon God, is the current system of market filters something that's on the team's radar to take a polishing pass on? Ooh, yes, it is. I'll probably pass this to Kildare. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually there was some this was actually probably 1 or 2 years ago. I actually did a UI update, but unfortunately because it required a server side update, which we haven't really managed to get a chance to get to. But that's something it's always been in the pipeline. Yeah, it's actually supported on the client side. It just needs to be supported on the server. So there's a lot of things like new better filters. Like if you notice, like currently the filter system is very limited in terms of like which it doesn't properly group items together. So that's one of the things that's fixed with this UI update. I think the filtering update. There's also additional things that I wanted to add was like search by cost and stuff like that. Add additional options essentially. So so you can look forward to that in the upcoming UI overhaul.
Oh, fantastic. Hopefully that helps to answer the question there, Pigeon God. Thank you for the Kildare. Next question is from Grey Leader. Are there any plans for nerfing telespam or buffing other strategies to balance them out? Yes. I will say for teleport on a character stats thing, not as much. It's more of a room thing, which means I'll pass this question to the mighty Kildare.
Well, I mean, we also do consider like in terms of like additional modules and stuff like that. But yes, one of the things that we're trialing in the test servers is additional specifically for counting like teleport, like rooms that counter teleport in a sense. I'm trying to make them so that they're more usable, like in a universal manner. But yes, there is some rooms being considered. Yeah, to balance out the strategies between telespam and gunships. Yeah.
I think it's
Fantastic.
important to
I think there's a
note, with our level 13 update coming in September, that introduces a lot more tactics into the game. There's a couple of new room designs. I think one of the questions earlier led to that as well. So some of the new strategies will effectively make other strategies better or worse. Just keep that in mind as well.
Well said, well said. I think is one thing we want to underline is it's not just more levels to existing rooms. There's complete changes coming from a strategic point of view with a lot more options for players.
Yeah.
It will take some remastery, but I'm pretty sure we'll see the best captains rise to the top as always. So it's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Probably only time for one more question, I'm afraid, guys, and then we'll have to call it there. There's a lot that we need to work on. Next question is from KLM744. Will there be more achievements and pins to unlock in the future? And is there the possibility of using fleek icons as pins? So for the first part of your question, yes. We have a huge list of achievements coming to the game to reflect players that have been playing for a bit longer, a bit harder to gain, and of course with increased rewards. We'll probably be looking at the achievement UI as well and seeing what we can do to improve that. As far as the fleet icons, I'm afraid not, but that's something that's always been exclusive. So that shows alongside your pin while you're chatting publicly and on your profile. We can look into improving that and kind of connecting them. But as far as fleet icons themselves, we feel they should always be unique to the fleets and not something that can be kind of mixed up
Actually,
with existing achievements.
With the fleet, is a little bit beside the point. I had this thought just on the weekend of a little fun thing we can do with fleets. Haven't even bounced this off in our design meeting yet. But we could look at giving fleets a sound as well as an icon. So when you are attacking another fleet, instead of that "wong" sound playing or when you do the PvP, you can play a fleet sound. So you can select one or maybe even upload one in the future.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, just throwing a random.
No, that's a great idea. I mean,
related
we could even
feature
look
in
at UGC.
Yeah, because I think what we like some of the features we're adding in level 13 is to have more emphasis on strategy, but also fleet and social fleet-based tactics. So there's going to be...
Actually, that's an excellent point then. If we can leave on that big teaser, we are going to be focusing heavily on fleet activity, promoting fleet action and fleet activities and fleet competition. Nothing that we can really go into detail at the moment, but that's probably going to be on the block roughly after the ship level 13, a short time after, I believe. But it's something we really want to build on and make sure is as exciting and engaging as possible. So yeah, something to keep out on. Okay, guys, unfortunately, we've gone a little over time, so we'll have to call it there. If you do have any extra questions, please feel free to reach out to us on Discord or send us an email. Again, that's mail@savvysoda.com. Or we will post a questions thread for next month's AMA. It will be the last AMA likely before we do the ship level 13 update. So if there's anything you'd like to ask, please feel free to. And thank you for taking the time just to listen in and ask you questions about what's coming for Pixel Starships. It's going to be a very busy end of the year. I don't want to generate too much excitement, but we've got more planned than ever before that we haven't announced. And we're just really working hard to make sure we can meet our deadlines and get these out to players as soon as possible.
Amazing.
So,
also, a note
apart from that,
for
guys,
the AMA, just before we wrap up, we obviously ran the AMA at a different time slot, like on Monday or maybe Sunday, depending which part of the world you're in. Does this work better, or do everyone prefer the original Friday, Thursday, Friday slot? Or we can obviously like get feedback for this after.
Yeah, I might. That's a really good point. What I'll do is I'll create a feedback post, guys. If you'd like to leave your feedback on your preferred time for us to host these, so we can make sure that we reach as many people and answer as many questions as possible, I'll add that in Discord shortly after this, once we've uploaded the video, and we'll get a transcript out as well.
Cool.
Okay, guys.
I think also
thank you
with
so much.
our event setup, I think next time we might see if we can reshuffle the event on Discord. So we'll get the AMA popping up on top of the July tournament. I think we had 2 months ago, we had mentioned we wanted to see if that works, because I think it's a bit hard to discover the AMAs as well. So I want to make sure if for anyone who want to join, they can see it.
Yeah, good point. Definitely. I think we can improve it as much as possible.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Zin. Thanks, Kildare. And thank you, everyone.
Bye.